Good morning, everyone. Wesley's off this week, so I'm flying solo. So, of course, that means lots of drought talk. And I'm also going to tell you a little bit about a big weather change coming up. Well, for that drought monitor, we definitely have improvements down in far southeastern Oklahoma. Now, obviously, it came with some severe weather. But unfortunately, a lot of times that's how we get our precipitation. We do have moderate to severe drought down in that region now, where it was severe to exceptional drought. Now, once you go to the northwest, the extreme to exceptional drought starts to take off again. And we also had those improvements over the last few weeks in southwestern Oklahoma. So a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. I wish there was more good, but we just need some more rainfall across the main body of the state, save for that far southeastern corner. We do have a little bit of worsening up in southern Osage into Pawnee County and also out in the Texas County in the Panhandle. So I wish it was more, but it's good enough for now. Let's start to get some more of these areas improved, though. Those improvement areas show up really well in the 30-day rainfall map from the Red River counties in southeast Oklahoma up through the east central portions of the state. We have a good 6 to 10 inches of rain in that region, so that's where we get the improvements. But you can see as we go to the northwest, much of the state less than 3 inches of rainfall, and then we get to the northwestern 1/5 or so, we start to get below an inch of rainfall. So we definitely need more as we go farther up into the northwest. As usual, it shows up much better on the percent of normal rainfall map for that 30-day period. We see those wonderful greens and blues down in southwest Oklahoma from a few weeks ago, and also down in southeast Oklahoma from the last few weeks as well, but especially this past week. But once we go to the northwest, once again, we see those deficits. Percent of normal values less than 75%, and in most cases less than 50%, especially up in the far northwestern corner of the state. So those are the regions that are really needing that rainfall. Let's quickly take a look at that 120-day percent of normal rainfall map just to show you a comparison. And then we have most of the state below that percent of normal rainfall, less than 100% at least. In fact, most of it's less than 75, and even the majority of it is less than 50% probably. So it just goes to show you that those recent rainfalls do wash out in the long term, and those deficits start to take back over. We can't discount those longer term deficits, unfortunately. Now let's take a look at that big weather change we have coming. Well, let's first take a look back at the statewide average maximum air temperature. The black line is the long-term Mesonet average, and the red line is this year. So we can see for most of the period since June 1st, we've had above normal temperatures, at least those high temperatures. We've had a few areas where it was just a little bit below normal, and then just a couple areas where it was just a little bit close to normal. Other than that, it's been pretty much above normal that entire time frame, which doesn't, of course, help drought at all. It actually puts a lot of pressure on the soil, a lot of evaporation, a lot of loss of that soil moisture. Now let's take a look at the Climate Prediction Center outlook for temperature for next week. We see this very large area of increased odds of below normal temperatures expected for next week. That's of course symbolic of a large cold air mass moving down from Canada. So we are going to see a drastic change. Instead of 60s and 70s, we're going to see 40s and 50s, maybe even some 30s for highs as we go into next week. Not sure about snow just yet, but definitely going to be colder, definitely going to be a change from what we've seen since that early June period with obviously just day after day of above normal temperatures, very little break in that. So this is going to be our first big stretch, week or longer, of below normal temperatures, at least for this time of year. So we have a big weather change coming with temperature. Now we need a bigger weather change with precipitation, especially across that northwestern 2/3 of the state. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.